Yep.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Mayor.
There we go.
2-minute warm-up.
It's got to search its way around the universe.
2-minute warm-up.
2-minute warm-up. It's nice and warm up here.
It is nice and warm up here.
First, we got a heater, and second, heat rises, John.
Yeah,
I
but
told
the
you.
heater, I think, makes all the difference.
I told you when I grew up, there was no heat in my
I
bedroom.
don't know how you did it, because
And-
it doesn't rise enough to make you feel better.
No, and particularly when you have the door shut at the bottom of the stairway.
Yeah.
It's a hard time for the heat to come through. But the good thing was I could wear my coat to bed and my knit hat.
There you go.
And I think
Hi,
we're
Bernice.
just
Good to
about
see
ready,
ya.
John. I think we're past
No,
it.
no, it's 7:59.
Oh, 7:59.
Hi,
We're
Hi,
just
Kathy.
about
Good
ready.
to see you. Thanks, Bernice, for sprinkling.
Yeah, I had fun watching your craft. I was such a mess today. I got a late start. I was thinking we start at 1 o'clock.
Hi,
This
Jennifer. Good
event.
to see you. She said she shared you into all the places. Hi,
Oh,
Miriam.
thank you.
Good to see you.
I had fun watching everybody today.
Getting close, Mayor.
Yep, getting close, and it's nice and warm up here. It's,
Very comfortable.
yep, unlike the basement, the tavern, that's a little chilly.
There's no heat down there.
So wait, which side of the house are we on?
1860.
Oh, we're in the new side, okay.
8 o'clock.
Okay, here we are. Yeah, and these were, we're up on the 4th floor of the house, so it's funny because
Excuse me.
these, they say, were the bedrooms when they put the addition on the house in 1860 for 13 kids and an aunt and 2 young Irish girls and my great-great-grandparents. They put this addition on, and it's like a second house. But this is where all the kids slept, I think. Don't you?
I think so, Mayor.
Up in
Between
here and
here and the other place.
and the other place. But it's weird,
the
I
other
guess.
bedrooms.
Yeah, I guess if the kids were battling, they're so far apart from the upstairs bedrooms.
Hi, Linda. Good to see you. Thank you.
But here we are,
Here we
Marilyn and John, with Done by Me, coming to you live from Magnolia Hall on the Delaware.
That's right. I almost forgot. You
Yeah.
didn't do the intro.
Yeah, one day I forgot it. And yes,
Where are you
we
coming
are
from?
on the Delaware River, and we're up in my sewing room.
All right.
And hard to believe, but we've been spending weeks on this, and it still looks a little disheveled, but we're, I think, on the home stretch, don't you, John?
Well, now you can see light at the end of the tunnel,
Yep.
as they say.
Yep, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So it feels really good. There's more to do, and probably about 8 tubs we brought down into the family room to sort out. But we're getting through it. That's the main thing.
Yep, it's looking excellent.
And I come up late at night before I go to sleep. I take one last flight up these steps and check it out and say, oh boy, I progressed from yesterday. So as long as it's one step forward each day. John's looking around. What do you see, John?
I don't know. It's always backwards, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing that's backwards. Hi, Ruth. Good to see you.
And you should be good at that.
Yeah, I know, but somehow I'm...
John's used to
We're not getting
backwards,
it with
being
the
a
camera.
dentist and seeing as somebody, so he still has a problem if I say something to the right.
Hi,
He
Ada,
always
good to
looks
see you.
to the left. It's just his brain, so you think he'd be good with this camera.
Yeah, it's like...
You're still struggling with it? He keeps looking up and looking behind me like, where am I? So,
I think I figured it out now.
We're in our own world, and I don't think we
Hi,
had
Gene,
the
it's Ballard.
TV
Good
on.
to see you. Thanks for sprinkling.
We didn't have the TV on
That's when it's
today,
just on.
but today is Groundhog Day.
Wait, I didn't get my thing.
Oh, sorry.
So, hey, everybody. Welcome to Creative Clubhouse Group, and thanks for joining us, and we hope you had a chance to watch the other crafters. If you haven't, check out the replay. Remember, it's a free group, so everybody love to have you along, and that's all great. And hey, thanks, ladies, for all the work you do. It's in no particular order, but there's Krista, Jennifer, Kelly, and Janice, and thanks so much. And here we are. We're we're the caboose tonight again.
Yeah,
There. How
coming
about
to
that?
you live from Magnolia Hall, John.
So anyway, thanks very much, and it's always a pleasure and a privilege. And all right, man. Hey, John, it's good to see you. Miriam says, "Hey, what are you making today?"
Well, the first thing I want to find
Hi,
out,
Pamela. Good to see you.
I celebrate all the holidays, and when my kids were young, everything was all decorated. Before I even became a school teacher, I've been over the top since I was a young girl. It was my brother's birthday when we were little, and while he was in bed asleep, I decorated his whole bedroom using wallpaper pages, you'd get from the wallpaper store, those big books. And I used to go in and beg him for a book, and I'd lug it home from the downtown there and make signs for my brother's bedroom and all, just so he had a wonderful birthday. I've always been into that. And when my daughter went to college one time, she went to a friend's house, and I said, "Oh, what's their house like?" Because, you get out of touch as the kids get older. And my daughter says, "Oh, just like a regular house." And I said, "Oh, like our house?" And she said, "Mom, nobody lives like we do." All the table, you could hardly eat. The table was all decorated. All the food had to be fancy and all. So, not surprising, I have groundhog decorations for Groundhog Day. So somewhere along the line, I bought this cute little guy. I have a pair of shears holding him up. But somewhere along the line, I got this probably at like a church rummage sale or something. And it's Play by Play, it's called.
Rowena May. What's her name?
Kelly.
Kelly. Yo, hey, Kelly. Good to see you.
And it's just, I can't tell who it is. It's nothing special, but how often do you find a little groundhog decoration? And we have groundhogs here, and John never saw them before, so he was amazed seeing them, little fat guys running across the yard. If he goes out. We even at one point had a problem with them getting into the garden, but they eventually, I guess, figured
Yeah, I
out
guess
not
he
to.
moved on. I don't know.
Moved
I don't
on,
know what
yeah.
happened. Hi, Bernice says he's so cute.
Yeah, and then to add to my collection, one of my children in school made the most adorable little groundhog puppet. So, of course, he has a little tail and everything. Look how cute. So that's my groundhog decorations. I had some other things I put out, and I put out brown dishes, and I had a whole table set up, but I had to start the day. So I heard it was controversial whether they were still going to do it because...
Bernice says they have groundhogs in their yard.
Yeah, they can be annoying. They can get under your patio and stuff. Same with chipmunks, though. But what happened today? Did you see whether the groundhog saw a shadow? Because we're out of the loop. We totally missed that. So if you let us know how that went, because we missed finding out about that. So one of the things, we do have a craft too, but one of the things I thought I'd intersperse, I like little snippets, just like little bits of information, little small things. So when I was teaching, I had a million little snippets I did with the kids while we had a project. But everybody wanted to know, I tell you about all these crafts I did over the years, and now that going through all my
Kathy
things...
said he saw a shadow. Miriam says no shadow.
Oh. I told you I made a million things, and I can tell you all kinds of stuff, and then it doesn't really mean much, I don't think, and people say all kinds of things, but as I'm going through, I'm like, I gotta remember to show them this, I gotta remember to show them that, I have to show them that.
It says moles and bowls.
Bowls and bowls, yeah. But this is a craft that I told you about, and I may have at one point just flashed past one of the somethings.
Hi, Patricia. Good to see you.
But I'm going to show you some
She
of...
said, yep, saw a shadow. 6 more weeks of winter.
Oh, boy. I'm going to show you some of the supplies that for this craft, and you tell me what it is.
Getting hearts.
Thanks for the hearts, guys. So this is the first, oh, you can see it better up there. the first thing that you need for this craft. It's a, what's it called, a cotter pin? I think it's called a cotter pin. Cotter pin. And all these crafts, I made 1 million of them at the time. I sold them. I gave them for gifts. Mainly
Yes,
I sold them.
Pin.
But you move on, and then you forget that you made it. You forget how you made it. And so I thought, okay, does anybody have an idea of what you use this pin for? What it looks like. Does anybody use these for any craft? So you have an idea. I made a lot of whatever this was. And I went to the hardware store. There was a little hardware store in the town that I lived for a long time, raised my kids. And I would just go there and buy a couple hundred of them at a time. So does anybody want to give a guess on maybe I should leave a couple out.
It says it's not for crafts, just as hardware.
No, it's a craft. It was a craft. So the next thing, oh boy, they're coming right out of the little box.
Mary says bobby pin big.
Yeah, it looks like a bobby pin. And the next thing I used, what are these called? Washers, John?
Can't see what they are. Yeah, they're washers.
Next thing I used in this craft, see if there's something darker that they'll show up on. Washers.
Jeannie says hairpin.
So I used this.
Hi Lisa, good to see you. She said, is it like a floral pen?
No. It kind of reminds you of that, and it kind of reminds you of a bobby pin.
Hey Michelle, good to see you.
And I used this.
Crafting with Michelle.
Hi Michelle. Yeah, I was thinking it started at 1 o'clock, and I missed it, and I went back and watched it in between trying to watch everybody, but your mailbox was amazing. It's fun because this group of ladies that we craft together, I guess you would say, we're in events together. Everybody's got a different take of what they make and all, and it makes it really fun to watch because you don't know what all you're going to see. So
says, sorry, she doesn't know about a craft, but she has them for her camper.
Oh, okay.
Miriam says washer and dryers.
So far we have the
Jeannie
pins.
says a fastener. Hi, Linda G. Good to see you.
We have the pins, and we have the washers. You ready for the next clue?
Linda says washers and cotter pins.
Ugh. Here's the next clue.
Hi, Judy. Good to see you.
I had a wood cutter cut them, and what's this wood called, John? This kind of wood. It's not really wood. It's.
I'm not sure.
It's not really wood. It's like. I forget what it's called.
Michelle says, thank you, neighbor.
Yeah.
Lisa says, on a boat, you can put it through like a cleat, and it can be like a locking pin.
So this is the next supply. So you can see I have a lot of them. Because I used to make a lot of these. So the woodcutter used to cut all my wood for me. And I think that thing that you have that cuts like the holes for doorknobs, don't you have that cutter thing?
Yeah.
I think that's what he used. But it's not like wood.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
It's not like wood. It's like rough on the edge.
Yeah, it's
kind
like
of.
something you see behind a piece of furniture.
Yeah, it's like cheap furniture would have this on it, but I forget what it's called. But I made a lot of these, just to say. So we got the pins. Come on, guys. You guys, Candy isn't on because she's usually a good guesser. We got the pins. We got the washers.
I think they're stumped, Mayor.
And we got this. Come on, guys. As soon as I show you, you're going to say,
Yeah,
oh,
Linda,
I should have.
It's particle board or manufactured.
Yeah, particle board. Thank you.
Hi, Bridget. Good to see you.
This is what happens when you get old.
Patricia said particle board.
Your Rolodex is like going through and going through. Like you see somebody someplace.
It's a chipboard.
Yeah. It's just, but it's pretty sturdy. It's much sturdier than cardboard. Sturdier than good cardboard.
Yeah, particle board makes sense. Lisa says.
Judy's on. Judy, come on. Come on, Judy.
Lisa says, Lisa Kidd, it's reminding me of the doll that you made out of yo-yos.
Close. Judy, have you ever used these? Who's going to get it? Is anybody going to get it? You put a washer. Let's see, how did it go? And one of these. I think it was another washer.
All I can think of is wheels. Miriam says, oh, paper holder.
The wheels on the bus go round and round. I was counting on Candy or Judy knowing this. Okay.
Bridget says, making a wagon.
Do you guys give up? Because we're going to put these...
Miriam says a paper holder.
We're going to put these not in this room. So I thought today would be a good day because I don't know when I'll get around to, if I ever will.
Judy says a buggy.
That's the hard part about getting older. It's not like you say, oh, maybe in 20 years I'll be making these.
Her mind's on vacation today.
Who said that?
Ada. I know. My mind goes on vacation too, Ada.
His goes
Probably
on every night.
More than Marilyn likes. Linda G says a spinning top. Linda says yes.
Ching, 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 ching. Who guessed teddy bears?
Nobody.
They're the teddy bears. So in order to make, let me get one let me get this stuff out of the way.
Hi, Sandra. Good to see you.
What I found really annoying was you need some strength to bend these and get them a certain way. So you make like the arms, but in the arm, let me get one that you can see. These are these were actually the ones I made for my mom, and then I got them back later when she downsized, before she had the opportunity to throw them away. So, let me get... So I knit the sweaters. At that point, I didn't know how to knit. I just guessed and knit these sweaters and the little hats for them. And I made the little ones also. Whoop. I made little ones like this also. These don't have those in. These you just sew through and sew them in. These, in order for their joints to move, you actually use two of these. One goes in the arm.
And this says, oh, for the
in
joint.
The fabric, yeah. And the other one goes in the body. And then you have to run the pin through and bend the pin open. It's really was very challenging for me for strength.
Pliers for that.
Yeah, you do. And I forgot you need it for the head too. So the head can turn, the arms can move, and the legs can move.
Judy said she used huge buttons for her bears.
Oh, that's a good idea too. But yeah, I actually taught classes in these. So the hands are made from leather. So I try to find an old leather coat, an old pair of leather pants, the palms and the feet. And I used to sometimes put my initials on them, which are me. But I don't think any of these are even signed. But I used to make these and sell them. And so I have a large collection of antique doll clothes that I used to look for. And actually these larger ones, and then there's even a larger one, which I didn't bring that down. I just brought these four down to see.
Linda G says, wow, she loves teddy bears.
And in there, It was the eyes. But I still have a box that has fabrics and the leather and all that stuff, so probably the rest of the eyes are in there. But that's a little thing. You would buy these special little glass eyes that went in there too. I don't think I could make these anymore because it takes more strength than I have in your hands. It doesn't seem like it would be that challenging to get those pins really tight. I found it back in the day challenging. I made these probably...
She says those are all beautiful, and she made those 40 years ago.
Yeah, that's probably when I made them, Judy. I'm trying to remember. But I had like little antique, and I'm still trying to come to it. It's probably in the garage, a box of antique doll clothes and little doll carriages and all kinds of stuff that I sold besides the bears. But these, if you notice, when we were up in the doll room, I had all these in the doll room. But I brought them down today because everybody says, oh, you know, I'll say I made something, but it doesn't mean anything till you actually see it. But I thought that was fun. So I hope you enjoy, because as we go along, I'm going to be giving you little snippets of a lot of the different crafts I've done. A lot of very different crafts. I was always hustling. It's expensive to raise kids, and they played the sports, and my son went to a private school and college tuition, and they were sick a lot when they were young, so I had to figure out how to make an income out of the house. So these are some of the things I did, and some of it just was for fun, and anytime I saw a class, I took it. So I'm never going to be wonderful at anything, and there's that expression, something but master of none, that I can do a lot of stuff, and master of none, and I can never remember what that expression is. But anyway.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, jack of all trades and master of none. That's me. But I got very bored. You know, you get bored quickly, and times change, and people, you sell so many teddy bears, and your fingers
Hi, Carol
hurt.
Sweeney, good to see you.
And then you say, that's it for teddy bears. I'm moving forward and doing something else.
Michelle says, you just amaze me with all your knowledge and talent.
Oh, thanks.
Yep,
but
me too.
You can see his little face. So I just winged how you made the sweaters, and later I did take a knitting class, and that's when I made all those sweaters for myself. But it was fun because I put jewelry on all of them. And
thanks, Michelle.
I love those church sales and flea markets and all. And for anybody that doesn't know, John and I have been in isolation for now 5 years almost.
In March, yeah.
Yeah, in March. I have a lot of health issues, and I'm high risk, and so we choose not to mix and mingle with people. We don't go into stores. We're really limited, and now that it's cold, there's like not many flea markets. There's not much, and everything that we need or want is challenging. And so you try to find joy in simple things. So
Judy said she sold crafts in Branson, Missouri to pay for cheerleading camp because it was very high back then.
yeah, we know about that.
Your craft cottage.
Yeah, so I thought you would enjoy,
Hey, your craft cottage, good to
enjoy
see you.
seeing the teddy bears today.
Thanks for sprinkling.
And my groundhog decorations. So how's our time look, John?
It is 8:22.
Okay, so we're good. We're good for a craft.
Oh, and by the way,
By the way,
we have a craft. Or
By
I
the-
should say we, Maryland's.
by the way, we have
Not we, it's Maryland.
we have a craft, and we have something really fun that a couple of things that John's going to do. But I got wrapped up in working in this room and all these things I want to share with you, and I hope you enjoy the little snippets.
Hearts.
Thanks for the hearts, guys. I hope you enjoy the little snippets, because a lot of times now that's what we're going to do, just show you different things in this room, different projects,
Hey, Linda
different
Farmer, good to see you.
different ideas, and then we'll show you parts of the house also, and we'll do some crafts, and we'll do some cooking. So going back, my dollar coat that I guess you guys saw the other day, and I felted it, which it could have been felted even more, but I pulled it out the day that I was going to go live, and I was going to do something else, and I'm like, I'm going to do something with my coat. It was a nice wool coat. It's well constructed. It's an Evan Picone, made in Italy. It's really sad because everything here is so disposable. People buy things and a year later they don't want it. And this was dated, but it was still a nice warm wool coat. And that's one of the things I'm going to show you. I used a Christian Dior pattern, and in college I took a tailoring class, and I went up to New York, and I'll have to show you all the things from that fashion study tour I went on in 1971 or 72. I think it was 72. I found a whole thing of all the places I went and all, and I thought I'll show you that. I'll show you my costume illustrating drawings because I took classes in that in college.
I nailed it. Good to see you.
But where was I going with that?
Judy
But I still
really...
have that coat I made in probably 1971.
Judy says, is Logan lost in the house?
Yeah, someplace. He's buried, I guess.
Where? I did see him.
I think he's
where.
in the kitchen, or is he still in the tavern?
I'm going to have to think where I see
Yeah,
him.
he's here, Judy. In case you're missing, he's safe. We just don't know where he is safe.
Sandy says she really enjoys the snippets.
Well, thanks.
Sandy's Burlap and Bling Creations. Good to see you.
Hi. So I had this coat. It cost $1 at the flea market. And probably if we waited till the end of the day, it would have been in the trash. There's a man that does clean-outs. So, like, old people die, young people don't want their stuff, but they want to cash out on everything, and so they say, I don't care what it costs. Just take this stuff away so we can sell the house. So this man gets paid to empty the house, and he just shoves it into this truck, similar to how this room looked when we started. He just shoves it into the truck. He goes to the flea market, and he has a whole crew, and they just take it out and they spread it all over. And everything's cheap, everything's negotiable. He just wants to unload it because he doesn't want to pay. If you go to the dump, you have to pay. John and I had a couple things we wanted to get rid of. That we had a little refrigerator that we had in the store when we had the store down the shore, and it was on its last legs. It really, I wouldn't have attempted to use it. And we had it here, and we're like, we have to get rid of that, and we got it to the car, and I don't know, there was an old TV, we had a few things. We had to drive it to the dump, because that's what they told us in town.
Sounds funny.
Yeah, and you have to pay, and you have to wait in this line, and then you have to drive over here and get rid of something here, and then the guy's like, I don't know whether we take those refrigerators here, and then you drive here. It took us a couple hours, and I forget what it costs us. It's not cheap when you take this stuff to the dump. So this gentleman doesn't want to have to take this stuff.
Goes by weight.
Goes by weight, yeah. So, yeah, that was crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
And like other people just put it to the curb or something like that. But
Hi, Candy, good to see you.
John and I feel like we want to do everything correctly and don't want to pollute the environment or whatever. And we try, we try to not consume a lot of things. So anyway, he doesn't want to spend money to get rid of this stuff. This is a business. He wants to make money. So it's all over. And then like near the end of the day, everything's free. Well, he had said everything was free.
Yep, she's been to the dump many times.
Yeah, and you got to pay, and they weigh your car. And just like one time, we tried scrapping some metal. We thought, oh, we'll get rid of this stuff and get some money. And you got to go, and they got to weigh your car before, and then they take it out, and they test everything, and they weigh your car with the stuff out. It's involved, you know, but fortunately, there are people around our town that if you have something metal and you put it out, you just put it on the Facebook, and the fellow generally comes, he swoops around anyway, but if he gets a notification, he'll swoop by and pick it up, and then he scraps it out. But
Candy
you can
says,
make
yes,
money.
you do. Use what you have.
Yeah, you can make money doing it, you know, supplement your income and all. And it's great that they do it.
Too.
Yeah, it's hard work. Because, like in our town, when they take that trash, our town pays by the pound for that trash to go to the dump. You know, the garbage people, they pay by the pound. So if you leave a sofa out in the rain, that's going to weigh so much more. And a lot of the metal, if people take it and upcycle, you know, recycle it, that's less that it's gone into the landfill and less that the town has to pay.
Sandy says she's also a jack of all trades and master of none, but it's been a blessing when raising my family and gifting to friends.
Who said that?
Sandy Wilson.
Oh, hi, Sandy. So anyway, it was the end of the day. He said it was free, but then when we went over, it wasn't free. It was $1. So I've had this dollar coat sitting around, and as I was cleaning out, I came across it, and I'm like, I'm changing my project the other day. So I took the coat, I put it in the washer on, heavy duty and hot. Now, the best way to do it, if I had something big enough that I could put it in boiling water. I probably could have broken it down and put pieces in. But anyway, I washed it in the washing machine on hot. Then I took it and I put it in the dryer and ran it a couple times on the hot cycle in the dryer. It dried rather quickly and actually came up really clean and all that. And other than the interfacing, buckling, the coat would have been fine to wear after the washer and the dryer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And if I just washed it, it probably would have been usable. It's so expensive for the dry cleaner, and I have a dry cleaner story to tell you sometime about that. Just remember.
Judy says St. Louis, Missouri drives huge trucks out to our dump and hauls it off. Crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. So anyway, so I felted.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, 8:30. I felted the coat. So felting just means it compresses all the fibers. So we did that felting project with the wool roving, and felted it with the prong needle. When you buy felt, that's actually stuff that's felted. So anyway, this coat is somewhat felted. It's not as felted as like a, what's the sweaters you can buy? Guess they're felted wool sweaters. Yeah, it's felted. Sometimes your brain just doesn't want to sit. So anyway, the other day I made this little heart, and I just hand stitched it, blanket stitch, and it's yo-yo. And then it was the buttons that I made out of air dry clay, and painted them, and then John sprayed them with polyurethane.
Yes.
Sprayed them with polyurethane.
Candy says they haul so much of the metal from their old barn to the recycling, and then they get 8 cents or maybe 4 cents a pound. Lots of work, but they too try to get things to the right places.
Yeah, it's just a shame. So anyway, I made that the other day, and that was out of the felted wool.
Linda says a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Yeah. So I kept thinking, what am I going to make out of this coat? And again, I had a different project I was going to do. And then I came across something and I said, oh my goodness, because the other day people gave me ideas and I don't know, nothing seemed to hit you. Like sometimes when you want to do a craft, you're like, I don't know what. So I pulled some of the seams apart, and also I'm just going to dig into this. And actually I could make a cute skirt or something like that if I wanted. But since we never go anyplace, so I have this piece of fabric, and now I'm just going to cut it. And when I taught food and nutrition, and I actually did this with food products also, and I'll have to try to find an old video because we have like 400 videos or something, and we didn't know how to mark them and catalog them and all. Like all these people are really smart on that stuff. We are not computer whizzes. So I'm just going to cut it kind of in bumps. I guess that's how I would say it.
Judy says when Cooper was little, Don and Cooper took cans to sell once in a while. That was their time together, and then they would get a soda.
That's fun. And I watched these videos about Germany and how when you buy your soda, you pay for the can also. And then they have machines, and you take the can back to the store, and you drop them in the machine, and you get a little credit of what you can spend.
Linda says, do you remember when we had wool pants as thick as the coat?
Yeah, they were great, weren't they? I just recently, at the flea market, well, before Christmas, I got myself a really nice, thick wool skirt, but it was like the kind it was from, where was it from, Austria or Europe someplace, and their things are really, they're like felted. They're really
it's
thick.
Really cold, right?
Yeah, it was really cold. Most of their wool is already felted when they make it, and it's really thick. Not every country do people have the luxury of having a really well-heated house, run to a well-heated car that's been warmed up, run out into some place that's warm. You know, the public transportation's popular. In Germany, they say they open the window and air out the house. So I have these scraps, and don't worry, I will save them, because I know that was a concern. So now I have it like this. It's nothing, just a crazy...
Well, hi, Gail. Good to see you. She says, hey, first time here. So welcome, Gail.
Welcome, Gail.
Welcome aboard. Glad to have you.
We're very serendipitous. You never know what we're going to be doing. And, but we're here to have a good time and for friendship and... what else, John?
Whatever we feel like.
Yeah, whatever we feel.
We always say you never know what's up Marilyn's sleeve.
So now,
thanks for joining us. Hi, Senna. Good to see you. Happy Sunday to you.
So now I'm doing like a spiral, but I'm still going with the crazy. And those that don't know, we live in a 1789 farmhouse. My family lived here. My great-great-grandparents in the 1800s.
Good to see you.
And then they had 13 children, and that's what I was saying about the rooms and all. Then they moved back to Philadelphia, and other people lived here after them. But we stumbled upon it when I was doing a family tree. It went up on the market. John bought it by accident, on a whim. It's really a crazy story. But here we are, two old people. We bought the house about 8 years ago. And we did exactly what old grandparents should not do, and that's buy a big old house. And we're on the Delaware River.
You don't you pay a nickel per can when you buy pop or I think beer? We've had that forever, and I will say very few cans laying around anymore. No, we don't.
Not in our state.
We just have to recycle them.
And it's really disgusting.
Gina says when she was a child, they collected soda bottles, took them to the soda factory. They reused the bottles and got 10 cents a bottle.
Yeah, when I was young too, but now here, and the worst offender are the water bottles. And I forget how many, I'm going to say 47, 67, I don't know, bottles, bags, big garbage bags, full of dirty, they couldn't be recycled because they were so dirty. And a lot of them full of water, you had to dump them out. It was disgusting, right off the riverbank.
Carol Sweeney says, when I lived in Dublin, I purchased wool clothes, and the wool is wonderful.
Who said that?
Carol Sweeney.
Oh, wow. Yeah, nice and thick. The sweaters are like that. That's why I have a lot of clothes from Germany and Austria. So I'm just kind of cutting it in a spiral, but if you see... looks like this. A crazy spiral.
Carol Sweeney says her sisters and I used to look for the soda bottles on the way home from school. The next morning, you could turn them in for a piece of penny candy.
Oh, isn't that fun? And then I'm going to start at the largest part.
Hi, Stacy. Good to see you. She said she loves that story. It was awesome.
Oh, thanks. So I'm just going to start rolling this. And I do this same kind of thing with apple peels, right, John?
Yes.
I do the same thing with apple peels. So I'm just going to roll this. And I hadn't made them for so many years, and I made one as a practice. So we're hoping I can make a second one. The first one, the practice one, turned out, but that was like beginner's luck. If it's been a long time since you made it, and you make it again, that's like being a beginner again. So I'm just going to roll this up.
Linda says Irish sweaters and linens are wonderful too.
Yeah.
Judy said her stepdad picked up bottles just for money.
Yeah, the Irish sweaters are wonderful. After my dad passed, my mother just wanted to get the things out of the house. And my parents traveled later in life. And my dad had some of those Irish sweaters. And I said to my mom, you should keep these. And she said no, she didn't want to. Well, I'll tell you, I wore them right away. And as I wore them, I could just smell my dad on those sweaters. It was just really neat. And, you know, after a few wearings, in particular when you teach cooking, your clothes don't smell like they did before. They start smelling like food, and then you get them dry cleaned and all. But it was just a wonderful thing. And I still have the sweaters, and they were just so big. My dad was a very tall man. They were really big and inappropriate for me to wear, but it was certainly wonderful.
Gail says she has 2 Irish sweaters that keeps her very warm.
So I just rolled them up.
Carol says the Irish pubs are great too.
Yeah.
That would keep you warm also.
Now I haven't glued it yet, but I'm going to try to curl that back. But that's what that looks like. And I hope, can you see it good, John?
I have to wait for the delay.
The delay?
Delay. Not there yet.
Boy, it's really a long delay, isn't it? My arm's going to be tired. So does it look good or no?
Looks great.
Okay.
Looks amazing. Yes, they would, Carol.
What's that?
The pubs keep you warm.
Yeah.
Candy says it's looking beautiful, Marilyn. She said, Carol says that's pretty, Marilyn. You're getting lots of hearts.
Oh, thanks for the hearts, guys. So now I'm just going to put glue in. I could have glued it as I went along, but
Linda
I don't know why.
A pretty rose.
I'm just going to put this here.
Judy says it's pretty.
And then that...
Senna says it's a beautiful rose.
That
Nelda says beautiful.
That flat piece. So does it look like we're going to let this cool down a little bit. Thanks for the hearts, guys. Let that cool a little bit. Well, don't touch hot glue. That's a lesson for today.
Michelle says beautiful. Still getting hearts.
Thanks for the hearts, guys. So I know you could put hairspray and things on it and kind of curl the petals back. But that's a big one.
Candy says stick that bottom on a circle of your felt, or did you do that?
Yeah, that was the first piece where I started, kind of gave me an anchor for it. I could put something on it. If I wanted to put, if I wanted to make a necklace, I could use something for an anchor and put it on.
Ada says it's turning out beautiful. The fabric sure makes a difference.
Doesn't it? That's the wool fabric. Felted wool fabric. So, this is my earlier one. It was a little bit smaller.
Kathy says she loves that it's out of felt.
Yeah, it's just, the felted wool, the
Wayne, good
the
to see
dollar
ya.
coat.
He says it's a fantastic idea.
Oh, thanks. So there's
it's
two of the
It
roses.
says beautiful, Marilyn.
So what's our
Candace says,
time
oh,
like?
okay, I see it now. It's really gorgeous. 8:43.
Oh, okay. So you can spray it with a little bit of hairspray, and you can manipulate the roses, the petals down a little bit more, which I think would be good. And probably even the steam iron, if I use the steam on it, I can manipulate the petals a little bit more, you know,
Now
curl.
it says it looks real. It does.
Now, what would you do with these? Because now that I made them, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I brought up, let's see, oh, I want to use that. I brought up this really big container, and I can't really pull.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I have a really big container, and it's just a really big container. It's just all kinds of beads and stuff. And in the past, I've used like rhinestones and put them in the center and things like that. You can take, can't remember.
One more and you can juggle.
Yeah. There was something I used and you put on here and it makes it look like dewdrops on it, and that was pretty.
Gail says it's so pretty.
But I just thought
Jill says
leave them
glue
natural.
On a felt heart.
On a what?
Felt heart.
Yeah. I had those other hearts, but I used the that I made before I did the coat. But they would have been pretty on that, if you remember my making. You would need a pretty big heart for that.
And
remember, I just made these.
Coat brooch.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Like on a black coat or something.
Linda G says it does look real. What a great idea.
But that was just the dollar coat, and I still have the buttons. I have the lining.
Kathy says you could make a big heart and group them on the heart.
Yeah, that would be pretty too. There's another way to make roses, and let me.
Santa says tuck in Valentine decor.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, because now that I made them, and then I end up a lot of times sticking them in something, just in a box, and that's what I'm finding now. All these
could put them on a
boxes.
stick, paint the stick green, and make it look like a long stem rose.
Yeah, I have the like floral supplies, and I did bring some leaves. I didn't want to go back to the barn. I just went up and found these in my stuff. Let me use these other scissors. And when you put the leaves behind, I don't know how to show you. It kind of sets it off even more. And I think I should try making a few little ones. And they would look really pretty on a hat. My mom made the hats, and I still have a lot of hat supplies, but this would be really pretty on a hat. I thought about making it into a fascinator, but I have so many that I made in the past. You know, if you guys remember, I made them for all the holidays and all.
Candy says, yes, put them on your own red coat, and you will still be wearing that red wool coat in just a different way.
Yeah. So I thought the leaves looked really good with it.
W says you could make a garland.
Yeah,
Carol
that would
Sweeney
be
says
pretty.
She's liking the leaves with the rose. And Judy says, wow.
Yeah, I just thought it would look pretty if on a black felt hat, maybe. It's all luck on finding things at the flea market, right, John? Because I don't know whether I have a plain black hat. And I don't
Joanna
look good in
says that would be
berets.
a pretty floral arrangement in a basket. Senna says, wow. Linda W says that would be cute on a beanie cap.
Yeah, like I was thinking like an oversized beret style hat. And then unplug this. Like
Candy says she'd paint the leaves a
Dark.
richer green to match their richness.
yeah,
Carol
these I
said,
just had, and they need.
Place them in a dough bowl.
I just thought that
Thanks, Gail, for sharing.
the other. Let me try that other.
Judy says,
kind of
yes,
a flower.
making those were so fun. You really made me feel some better all last year.
Oh, with the fascinators? Yeah, they were really fun to make. So I know how to make roses like 3 other ways. One way, when I was young, I lived in a what?
Hearts.
Oh, thanks for the hearts, guys. I lived in a upper middle class community, and it was not like farmland at all. But for some reason, I marched to my own drummer, and
Still getting hearts.
I was in 4-H, and I told you the other day, I just wanted to be married and have a bunch of kids and farm.
Thanks for the
I
hearts,
didn't
everybody.
have high aspirations like all the other women in town. Like in the 60s, everybody wanted to the women's rights and all this stuff. I just wanted to be like an old-fashioned kind of person. So let me cut this down so I have a strip. But anyway, I was in 4-H, and it's hard to believe, and every once in a while it comes out, but I was extremely shy, and I guess now they would call it autistic. I didn't speak or anything when I was young. They didn't start me in school until a year later because of it, because I didn't talk to anybody. And I just did my own thing. So anyway, I was in 4-H, and as shy as I was, for some reason, if I got something in my mind, I would do it. And I was in a demonstration contest, and my mom wasn't one real involved with stuff, so somebody paid to take me to the state university.
Judy says, too bad we weren't besties all our young life. She was in 4-H too.
Oh, really? And I'm just folding back and making a square. But I ended up going to the state, and I did a demonstration on gift wrap, and I came in first in the state for a demonstration contest. So what I made was all kinds of gift wrap, but I gave everybody a piece of ribbon and showed them how to make these ribbon roses. I don't know how I got the nerve
Katie
to
says,
do it.
I think in the long run you outdid everyone. You've outdone yourself over and over.
Well, thanks, Candy. You always say nice things. That's why it's so much fun. It's such a nice group of people, and it gives me time to interact. And so you just fold back, and this one should...
It's snowing again, huge flakes.
Oh, geez. This, I should have made a longer strip. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But
10 minutes, like 9 minutes.
it makes a rose like that. It should have been a longer piece, and it would have more dimension to it. But I used to make these out of ribbon. There was something I was going to talk about. Now I forgot. Something I was
about shows.
Yeah, I was going to ask about shows, but there was something else too. So that's another one. And normally I would wrap it with floral tape, but since that's in the barn,
Hi, Allegra, good to see you.
we'll just wrap it with some thread here. If I can walk and chew gum at the same time, we'll just wrap it with a little piece of thread just to hold it. And I could tie it off, but that would be the second method. And it should have been a longer strip, and I could have folded it and got more dimension. And then there's one other way, and you've probably seen a lot of crafters make. This is one I had a whole box of flowers that I've made years ago. But this is, you just take a long strip and you twist it and you roll it and make like a little snail. And I could use that method also. I was going to ask them something and I forget. So what are some other ideas that I can do with the coat? I have one other thing I was going to show another time, but give me some other ideas, because you guys are the ones that said flowers the other day, and I'm like, well, I like you to give me some ideas, and it's a form of brainstorming. So when you give me ideas, I can or cannot use them. That's my choice. But when you give me ideas, I might not use that idea, but it might give me another idea. And it gets me to think outside the box. Because when you look at that coat at the flea market, you might not buy it. And you say, oh, that's a coat. It's out of style. Red isn't my color. It's too small. It's not my size. It's too big. I never get dressed up. I don't need a wool dress coat. But it's fun to think outside the box and think of ideas. But I'm always open for...
Linda Watson says you could make bags.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Like a handbag. Do you remember those bags that were popular? They were popular when I was young, called Bermuda bags. I'm dating myself. They had, I'll have to dig one out and show, because maybe I can make a cover.
Says those are from the coat?
Yeah, these are all
she
from
just
the...
came on, that's why.
Yeah, they're all from the coat, Allegra.
All from the red coat.
Yeah, you may want to go back and look.
Carol says you could make another eyeglass case.
Yeah, that would be good.
Michelle says you could make a cute purse.
Yeah, those Bermuda bags, they have a wooden handle on them.
Sana says a little purse.
And, yeah, I have that funny pattern that I made that time for just a little bag. And you don't have to hem it because it's felted, so it's like felt. It won't unravel. But the Bermuda bag has the wooden handle, like 2 wooden handles, and you hold it. And it generally has a white lining that's on those handles. And then on the handles are buttons, and you buy covers that go on. So you never have to change your handbag and your stuff. You just change the cover. Have you guys seen them? And they just button on. I'll have to pull mine out. But this would look cute on a handbag, too.
Miriam says a Valentine wreath. Linda Watson says a red bag with some of your other flowers stitched on them.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out what all to do, and you know, I think it would take away. Like I pulled out these glass things. I always buy odd lots of stuff, and I think that takes away from it to put something else in it. I just think...
Green said I had several. Hi, Diane. DIY designs. Good to see you.
Several of the
I
Bermuda...
made small red mittens a couple years ago and then stuffed them with greenery and red satin ribbon with
sounds like
jingle bells tied on.
Okay.
I gave family and friends for my annual Christmas ornaments, but they would have worked with stuffed with Valentine's Day things as well. Linda W says, I remember the bag's wood handles.
Yeah, and it would be neat out of this. And you could, if you got it at certain... Yeah. It would, if you got them at certain stores, they could monogram your 3 initials on it, and they were so pretty. I never had all the stuff that was trendy and popular. It was not within our budget. But I tried making all my clothes. Sounds like rain, doesn't it? That's the heater.
It's recycling itself.
Oh, okay. Makes it funny. The heater up here makes a funny noise.
Yeah,
it's
I don't know. It like recycles itself before it stops putting out heat. It recycles something and then it starts heating again.
It's a weird thing. It heats and air conditions. The same unit does everything. It's just like a small unit that gets put into the wall, right?
It has an outside. It's attached to an outside.
It's attached to something outside.
Judy says, I like those roses plain. Candy says, I think some stars might be nice for USA holidays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just there's so much coat, you know. If you put it on, you would say, oh, it's kind of a small coat. But when you have all this, and it has the gold buttons on it, which are kind of cool. That can be used for something, the square buttons.
Carol says her mom made Bermuda bags.
Yeah, I love them.
So it's 2 minutes. So hey everybody, it's two minutes left, and I just want to thank you for
And I have the lining too.
joining us in the Creative Clubhouse group today, Crafter's Choice. If you didn't have a chance to watch the other crafters, go back and watch #replay. And you can join the group. It's free, and in no particular order, we thank our hosts, Krista, Janice, Kelly, and Jennifer, and we appreciate you having us tag along. We do feel it's a privilege and honor to be included in the group. We thank everybody for joining us today. If you're not following us, go ahead and follow us. And Gail, thanks for joining us tonight as a new follower. And Merritt, go ahead, like another minute and a half.
Oh, okay. So just to go over, we showed you the teddy bears that I made before. And I should
make a cute doll coat hat like they had when you were small.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking a big knit loose hat that would look cute on it.
She'd like to see stuff made from the lining.
Yeah, so I have the lining. So give me, message me. I can't message anybody until you message me first. That's just how it works with Facebook.
Shit, the weather's crazy, isn't it, Gail?
But, where's his little hat?
Thanks, Nelda.
Someplace there's a little hat for this guy, too. I don't know where I misplaced it. There's another hat for this guy someplace. But, I showed you the supplies that you use to make these what do you call them?
Cotter pins?
Cotter pins. The, now I can't even remember what's the wood called.
Particle board.
And the particle board.
9 o'clock.
And the nuts. Nuts.
Washers.
Washers, yeah. And that's what was the little surprise. But this is the teddy bears I've made. So I'll continue to have like little snippets of a couple things when I come on because it's kind of fun and you get to see all my different crafts. So thanks so much everybody for joining us. If you're not following, we'd love to have you follow. And thanks for being our friend and all your kind words. We really appreciate it. And we hope you had fun.
Good night.
Good night.